Hello class, welcome back in our online discussion in this course Applied Economics. So we are now in lesson 3 and we will talk about the Porter's 5 forces analysis. But before we will proceed to our lesson, we will have a pre-test first. Question number 1. It is a framework or a guide for assessing and evaluating the competitive strength and position of a business organization. A. SWOT analysis. B. Environmental scanning. C. Porter's 5 forces analysis. Or letter D. Marketing research. It is a framework or a guide for assessing and evaluating the competitive strength and position of business organization. So the answer for number 1 is letter C. Porter's 5 forces analysis. Now let's proceed to question number 2. He developed the Porter's 5 forces analysis. A. Michael Porter. B. David Porter. C. Phoenix Porter. Or D. Henry Porter. So the person who developed the Porter's 5 forces analysis is Michael Porter. Let's proceed to question number 3. It refers to the ability that customers have to drive lower prices. It refers to the ability that the customers have to drive lower prices. A. Threat of substitute products. B. Bargaining power of suppliers. C. Competitive rivalry. Or D. Bargaining power of buyers. It refers to the ability that customers have to drive lower prices. It means that the customers have the ability to drive the lower prices. So the answer for number 3 is letter D, bargaining power of buyers. Question number 4. This force examines how easy or difficult it is for competition to join in the industry being examined. A. Threat of new entrants. B. Bargaining power of suppliers. C. Competitive rivalry. Or letter D. Bargaining power of buyers. This force examines how easy or difficult it is for competition, it is the key word, competition to join in the industry being examined. So the answer for number 4 is letter A, threat of new entrants. And last number 5, this force studies how easy it is for consumers to switch from a business product or service to a competitor. This force studies how easy it is for consumers to switch from business products or service to a competitor. A. Threat of substitute products. B. Bargaining power of suppliers. C. Competitive rivalry. Or letter D. Bargaining power of buyers. Okay, it is from a switch from business products or service to that of a competitor. The answer for number 5 is letter A. Threat of substitute products. So congratulations to those who got the perfect score for the pre-test. Now let's proceed to the lesson for this particular topic. So the 5 forces model was originally developed by Michael Porter. Okay, and he is from Harvard Business School. So the Porter's 5 forces analysis is a framework or a guide for assessing and evaluating the competitive strength and position of business organization. Okay, so it focuses on the strengths and position of a business organization. Okay, again, this Porter's 5 forces is a what? It is a guide or it is a framework or a guide for assessing and evaluating the competitive strength and position of business organization. So Porter's theory identifies that five forces that determine the competitiveness and attractiveness of a market and which seek to locate the power in a business situation and its current competitive position and the strength of a position that an organization may enter into. So the Porter's five forces analysis is focusing on the positive side of the business in which the strengths and the position of the business. So according to Porter, the origin of profitability is identical regardless of industry. And in that light, the industry structure is what ultimately drives the competition and profitability, and not on whether an industry produces a product or service. So it is emerging or mature, high tech or low tech, or regulated or unregulated. So again, the Porter's five forces analysis was used as a guide or framework to evaluate the strengths or competitive strength and position of the business. And this is the author or the one who developed this model, Michael Porter from Harvard Business School. So we will discuss about the Porter's five forces. So there are five forces. First is competitive rivalry. We have bargaining power of suppliers. Three is bargaining power of buyers. Four, threat of new entrants. And five, threat of substitute products or services. So these are the five forces. Okay. If there are forces, there will be an impact to the market. So we'll discuss first about the first five forces, which is the competitive rivalry. So for the competitive rivalry, this force examines how intense and competition currently is in the market, which is determined by the number of existing competitors and what each capable of doing. So the rivalry competition is high when consumer can easily switch to a competitor offering for little cost. Okay, so these forces, it examines how intense the competition currently is in the market. Okay, so again, this is one of the responsibility of a manager, that he will not only study his own business, but also he or she will study the competitors. Okay, the company or organization that offers the same products and services. And one thing that we can um, observe, if the rivalry competition is high, okay, when the rival competition is high, what is the effect? If the rivalry competition is high. So if the rivalry competition is high, the customers can easily switch to a competitor offering for a little cost. So if there are many rivalry or competitors who sell the same products and services, it is easy for the customer to switch from your products to the products of your competitors. Okay, especially if your competitors will offer uh, little cost of their products. Okay, that is for number one, competitive rivalry. The second forces is bargaining power. Again, we will have a recap first for the first five forces. First is competitive rivalry. If the rivalry competition is high, it means that the customer can easily choose other products from the other company or business or your competitors. Okay, so the more there are many competitors, it is easy for your customers to switch from your products to their products. Okay, so that is one of the five forces. It will force your customers to buy products to your competitors, because we have, for example, if we handle a business, there are many competitors, so it's easily for the customers to switch from your products to the products of your competitors. The next one is bargaining power of suppliers. So this force analysis how much power a business suppliers have and how much control it has over the potential to raise its prices, which in turn would lower a business profitability. Also, it looks at the number of suppliers available. The fewer there are, the more power they have. So same thing with the competitors. If there are many competitors, okay, if you have many competitors of your business, the more the customer can choose or switch from your products to their products because they have many choices. Okay, same also with the bargaining power of suppliers. So for example, if you only have one supplier, it means that the supplier has the power to ask for a high price. Okay, so for example, if you only have, again, you only have one supplier of your products. For example, you need a raw materials and the suppliers of your raw materials is only one. You don't have any choice. So it means that the suppliers will have this bargaining power. He can increase the prices of their products. Okay. So the more that there are available suppliers, the more these suppliers will offer a low price, okay, because they will afraid that you no longer purchase their products. Okay, so number three, it's about the bargaining power of buyers. So this force looks at the power of the consumer to affect pricing and quality. So the consumer have power when there are not many of them, but lots of sellers. As when it is easy to switch from one business products or service to another. So buying power is low when consumer purchase products are small amounts and the seller's products is very different from any of its competitors. Okay, so the buyers also have this bargaining power, especially if there are many sellers of the products. And on the other hand, it means that when the buyer have this low bargaining power, it means that the buyer only purchase minimum or small amount of products. Okay, and especially if the products has a low quality. So let's proceed to the fourth one, the threats of new entrants. This force examines how easy or difficult it is for the competition to join the marketplace in the industry being examined. And the easier it is competitor to join the marketplace, the greater the risk of the business market share being depleted. And barriers to entry include absolute cost, advantages, access to inputs, economies of scale, and well-recognized brands. Okay, so again, the threats of new entrants, for example, you are already in the marketplace for many years, and then if there is a new entrance that is considered threats to you, especially if they will offer a good quality products and they offer a low price of products. Okay, so there is also a force on this part. That is why there are many businesses who declared bankruptcy because there is a new entrance. They produce good quality products with a low price and they have this good service. So that is a threat for you. And lastly, number five is the threats of substitute products or services. So this force studies how easy it is for a consumer to switch from a business product or service to that of a competitor. Okay, so it looks at how many competitors there are and how their prices and quality compare to the business being examined, and how much of a profit those competitors are earning, which would determine if they can lower their cost even more. So there is a threat of substitute products or services because of the competitors. Okay, so now let's proceed to the last slides. So we have here the bargaining power of the suppliers, threats of substitute products, bargaining power of buyers, and threats of new entrants, and rivalry among existing competitors. So I suggest that you will take a picture on this. Okay, so we'll have this one by one. First, rivalry among existing competitors. Example for this is number of competitors. The more there are many competitors, it can affect your business because it's easily for the consumer to switch from your products to the products of your competitors. Diversity of competitors, industry concentration, industry growth, quality differences. You have this different quality of your products, brand loyalty, bar barriers to exit, and switching costs. And for the bargaining power of suppliers, number of size of suppliers. Again, if there are only few or only one supplier, it can affect your business because they have this power to increase the price of their products. Uniqueness of each supplier's products, focal company's ability to substitute. So now let's proceed to threats of substitute products. Number of substitute products available. For example, your competitors can offer different varieties and available products. So that is a threat for your business. Buyer propensity to substitute. Relative price performance of substitute. Perceived level of products differences and switching cost. Now, for the bargaining power of buyers, number of customers, size of each customer orders, differences between competitors, price sensitivity, buyer's ability to substitute, buyer's information ability, and switching cost. Again, the buyers have this bargaining power if there are many competitors, okay? And also if he will or they will buy bunch of products and services, meaning there's a lot of products and services that they will purchase. And for the threats of new entrants, there is a barriers to entry, economies of scale, brand loyalty, capital requirements, cumulative experience, government policies, access to distribution channels, and switching cost. Again, if your business is already running for many years and then there is a new entrance, that would be one of the threats of your business. So again, these are the um, five porters forces in which can affect your business. So as a manager, you need also to study these things. If you are able to master these five, there is a big possibility that you can still stand in the midst of the competitors in the marketplace. Thank you, and don't forget to answer the evaluation quiz. Bye bye.